So I thought it was a good first day. You know, we've had 15 walkthroughs, 15 meeting opportunities, and kind of walkthroughs throughout the winter. And we started that as soon as we got back from winter break. And you know, all of it's been you know, with the new offense coming in, and really kind of, I guess, new defense and new coaches, you know, on top of all of it, so a fair amount of new. And I think with the players and the new staff, just the urge to get it right and the fight to get it right. I thought, you know, Gary's brought a whole lot of that too, just the intensity of all of it. And so it's been a way positive mix, man. And then, you know, today was fun. And guys were competing, and it was the cleanest, probably fastest first day that I've been around. And you can put that to just all the work that's been already put into it, you know. And so some positive things. I thought offensively, quarterbacks threw it good. You know, we've got a bunch of new receivers and kind of slot type guys, which is a new position for us in a way. And those guys were featured today. And I thought defensively, the ability to feature some of the linebackers, I thought was really good. And then the ability to play no huddle and with tempo to get people in and out and be clean with calls on a first day was pretty good. And so we'll kind of see where we go from here. And I'm excited for this group and you know, what's ahead of them. Take any questions you guys got.
With so much newness and so much, you know, new coaches, new players, new scheme, all that, how easy is it to turn the page and kind of focus on kind of your mission for the season? Yeah,
so yeah, I think the focus is all the way through. You know, for just specifically, I guess, for me, that just being involved with defense to the degree that I am, it's, you know, first thing I'm doing, I'm waking up in the morning is film and ball and studying and all of it. And so it's just, you know, there's just a sense of urgency, and there is you know, a real push to get it right. And I think that's a good thing. And I think when you are built that way and that's kind of flowing through you, I think it's that's addictive, you know, and that catches fire. And my hope is that that's the case with us.
Coach, how did you determine how much to put on your own plate? Because obviously you've taken on extra responsibilities, but can you kind of outline what you're doing in addition to head coach, and then kind of how you determine what and where and why to do that?
Yeah, so you know, today or Monday was probably a good example, because, you know, I'll get here pretty early and I'll get kind of the day set. I'll put a schedule down, and then I'll have, hey, there's a staff meet, and then there's, you know, if there's a team meet, and then there's a D-staff meet, and then there's a linebacker meet. So I need to have notes for all of those, you know. And so I think that, I mean, that's where that's at right now. But I think you know, I look at the people that are there with us, whether it's, you know, I think like Jamar's been a great addition and way attentive to details and way smart with just all of the experience and how it relates and how much is too much and when to push and when not to. And then, you know, Powell's been great in terms of things where I start to overflow, Powell can take on defense, and then Gary's always great to kind of soundboard and how he did it and his methods and things. And so there's a bunch of help there. I think it's just a matter of using it, you know. And then I think, you know, the more you're in the routine and the more that things are kind of what they are, then the more you can plan for it, and the more that you can build in times where you know, things are working and you don't have to necessarily be there kind of nursing it from this to that. And so I think all of those things are happening right now. And then, you know, I'm excited to do ball. We've had a bunch of people come in and speak to us about ball, defense and everything. So I'm excited to be involved with that and to see what we can do. You know, there's nowhere to go but but up with us, improvement. And so for sure, that's recognized. But we want to be damn good, and so we're trying.
Coach, just because you mentioned his name twice already, and we haven't talked to you, I think, since that hire.
Mm-hmm.
How did that come about, bringing Gary onto the staff? And was there ever any thought, I'm sure probably not, but just how the Baylor fan base would react to maybe the most well-known coach of their bitter rival coming in wearing green and gold?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about the staff. I just think, Gary brings just a love of ball, and I feel like I know him, and in his heart, he's a great person, and there's a giddiness. So there's a giddiness that comes with him when defense makes a play, and there's great communication, and everything kind of lines up. I mean, he gets excited as much as any of us would get excited. I don't know, whatever we get excited about. And so that part's pretty cool. That is contagious when it's like that, But then I look at like Noakes, and I look at like his detail, his focus, and the guys that he's coached and his experience, and his ability to relate. We had a bunch of parents here on Saturday, and we were able to kind of meet and greet with them, and they were, I imagine, like y'all, like, what is this? What's going on? Like, what is going on? And so it was good for them to kind of see everybody and visit and get the feel of it. And Noakes was great in that space, and I know that he will continue to do great things just with relationships, because we are behind the 8 ball with that. And we already talked about Jamar. And Powell has been awesome just in his role of, I think it's always hard when you wear something and then you're something else. But I think if there's one guy that can go through all of that and grow and really take all of it to a whole other level, it's Powell. I think he has the ability to be a super, super coach, and so much believe in him and excited for just his growth. And, I think like KC is really, with the corners that he got, you could argue that some of the young talent there could be the best on the defensive side of it. And so his ability to bring those guys along. They showed up today. LeVar Thornton really had a bunch of big plays and was kind of the player of the day today. And so, excited for it. I think Caleb Collins likes the outside backers that he's got. And, his ability to kind of, we're going to play more peso. So 2 of those guys on the field at all times. And I think that, we can put them in positions to make plays and, for sure do better than what it's been.
Dave, the defensive line is no matter what, you need bodies. Mm-hmm. And the Boykins news that he's out, and there might be other news there. Mm-hmm. How frustrating is that? And is that going to be something you've got to kind of monitor and look into the future for how you beef that up literally? Yeah,
I think it is. I mean, Trey Emery, we lost too. And so Trey is also medical DQ'd. And so, It speaks to last year. I mean, we lost both of those guys last year, and so it's way unfortunate, and it's for guys that have hopes and dreams and want to be able to achieve and put so much into it, especially when you had an injury and you're coming back from the injury, and you're fighting knowing kind of what could be at stake, and to try to push through and then to not make it sucks. And so my heart's out with them. We've got to be able to get a whole bunch out of Tonga while he's here. We've had a bunch of guys that have beefed up. We've got like DK Kalu, who's 300 pounds now. I think when he was here in fall, he was 270. And so we've got some guys that have added weight, but they can't be true sophomores. They need to be moving a little bit older in just detail and focus and all of it. And then I do think we've got to be alert come transfer portal season because we need more bigger people.
What was, just for clarity on both of those retirements, what was the issue at hand for both guys?
One had knees and the other had a back.
In terms of defense, how much of your personality factors into that in terms of just what you've had in the past, or do you pattern it around what you've got now?
Yeah, that to me, I mean, 2019 is a long time ago, and it's a long. In talking to some of the the people that I initially in December was talking defense with people, they would label some of the things that we were doing like OG style, or how else they said, they'd find ways to say that you're old in a nice way. And so and so that and I knew that, and so the ability to kind of, hey, you've got your beliefs and you got all your stuff, but then, hey man, this is what it is, this is what's new, this is what's kind of where the game is, this is what it takes, these are the changes that we need to make, these are the improvements that we got to go. I think that's part of the bringing the staff together. I think that's part of the offense that we have this year. I think that's all part of it, and I think bringing all the people in that we brought in is all part of it. I think that at the end of it is putting our guys in the best spot, and I'm excited for that.
Coach, just on the other side of the ball, DeQuan looked like a guy who's kind of leading those quarterback drills, even though he's only been on campus for a little while. Is that something you noticed in terms of his ability to come in and be one of those leaders day one?
Yeah, DeQuan, he has an energy about him that is real, and I think guys are attracted to it. I think they're pulled in by it. Sawyer, same thing. I think they're throughout the winter, their strength and conditioning, and they're running and they're lifting and all of it. Like if we look at the quarterbacks and they're running with the mid-skill, and that is that the two top guys, or one of the two top guys is going to be those two. And they're going to be battling out. Sawyer doesn't want to lose to DeQuan. DeQuan don't want to lose Sawyer, and those guys are pushing each other. And I think it's a good competition. And I think everyone knows kind of where it's at and what needs to come out of it. And I think they're fully engaged. And we're able to see that on the field today. And so I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the offense, to have tempo. And I think the majority of the plays today were formation into the boundary. We had all these splits. We had receivers that were 2 yards from the sideline, and so there's all this space inside. And so the tempo that goes with it as well makes it difficult. You make a bad play, the thing could be out the gate, and with as fast as they move. And so I think good things are coming, especially with those two at the helm.
Do you care if you end camp with a #1 quarterback or not? Does that matter?
I would like to. I think anytime that you can, I think it helps you kind of solidify your team. And just with the leadership and with the newness and all of it, I think it will help. But it needs to be a for sure guy that did it, that won the job.
Do you have any type of are you a theme for spring type of guy? Is there anything in particular that's kind of a motto for spring ball, or is it just so much change you're kind of wrapping your head around all of that?
No, yeah. I mean, I think that change is always difficult because we're used to what we're used to. But there could be a lot of good with change. I think, the one thing for sure about change is you don't do stuff just because that's what we always used to do. And I think there can be good that can come out of that, But we talk about ball, brotherhood, and battle. And so making from the beginning ball just really important. And that ball is kind of our language, and ball is something that is that we're connecting with and by, and it's something that we're spending time on, and it's something that we're investing our extra time in. And so that's coaches and players. And then brotherhood is like, all the things, whether it's at my house or it's the families coming over, or it's the coaches connecting with the one-on-one talks of, hey, this is school, this is life, how are we handling all these changes, right? And tell me how you really feel. I know that's what you're supposed to say. I think getting to all of that is a brotherhood where there's trust, accountability, and realness. And then battle is just way important. That's the compete and the finish, man. Where it matters, and I'm pissed off if I lose, and I'm not in it to lose, and I want to win, and I'm fighting and scratching and doing everything I can to get that edge. And so, we had Gary looking. The offense was having like a walkthrough. We had Gary around the corner looking to see the secret plays, and so we're all fired up to get out and do our best, and I think it's a good mojo right now. So we'll see where it goes.
I guess what about Powell? I mean, not Powell. You mentioned Powell and Gary. What about Jake on the other side of the ball? Kind of, what have you seen from him so far early in the spring?
Jake has a way about him, that a kind of a swagger, really, that I think guys see and are attracted to, and then I think he's got a way of simplifying things. I think whereas before stuff was probably pretty structured all throughout, I think there's some looseness there where skill guys can kind of make plays and reads, and our number one route is a choice route, so it could be a various a go, a fade, a stop, and all this other stuff. And so I think that it's there's a bunch of freedom inherent in it, and I think it can allow the skill guys to play fast. And so I think getting the quarterbacks on the same page of all that, I think is still happening right now. But by the looks of it, when that thing's rolling, it'll be tough.
What have you seen from a guy like Richard Reese, maybe coming off of not his best year production-wise, but choosing to come back, choosing to stay in this program? Just what is someone like him, his energy right now?
He's a leader for us right now. We've had a couple of guys that were selected to be, kind of a leadership institute, and Richard was one of them. And his one-on-one talks, and then his, often, when these things are kind of school-run, school-based, there's always a tendency to kind of go. And I think for him to fully engage with it and to fully kind of spend time outside of it to prepare for it, and to constantly talk about the things that he learned in it and how he's applying it outside of it, that's him. And so I think it's way cool. And when you're with people through hard times and rough times and all this other thing, and you stick with them, and there's a belief, right? There's a belief in them from you, that you believe in them, and that's just everybody up here. And then what it does is that person can take a whole other step, a step that maybe that you didn't even see before. And I feel that's the case with him. So I'm excited for what's next.